Good morning, children. Let us continue the chapter What is democracy? Why democracy? We were doing arguments in favor of democracy. Let us continue from the last paragraph on page 33. These three arguments were about the effects of democracy on the quality of government and social life. But the strongest argument for democracy is not about what democracy does to the government. It is about what democracy does to the citizens. Even if democracy does not bring about better decisions and accountable government, it is still better than other forms of government. Democracy enhances the dignity of citizens. As we discussed above, democracy is based on the principle of political equality. As I have told you earlier also, whenever the term political equality is used, it refers to the right to vote. On recognizing that the poorest and the least educated has the same status as the rich and the educated. That is why the term political equality has been used, because if the person is 18 years of age, then it does not matter whether he is rich or poor, whether he is educated or uneducated, to which religion, caste, creed or color he belongs to. Everybody will be given the same right to vote. People are not subjects of a ruler. They are rulers themselves. Why is this line written? They are rulers themselves because lot of power is in the hands of the citizens. Lot of power is in the hands of the people. What power? The power to elect their representatives. Those people who will be elected by the citizens to run the country. Even when they make mistakes, they are responsible for their conduct. The people are given this right to elect their rulers, to choose their rulers. So if the people make a mistake, if they choose wrong people, then they are responsible for what they have done. Finally, democracy is better than other forms of government because it allows us to correct its own mistakes. Another very important aspect of democracy, that it allows us to correct our mistakes. As we saw above, there is no guarantee that mistakes cannot be made in democracy. No form of government can guarantee that. The advantage in a democracy is that such mistakes cannot be hidden for long. There is a space for public discussion on these mistakes, and there is a room for correction. There is always a scope for correction. Either the rulers have to change their decisions or the rulers can be changed. So this is the power of democracy. If the rulers make any mistakes, then either they have to correct their mistakes, they will get an opportunity to check themselves and to correct their mistakes. If they will fail to do so, then the rulers can be changed by the people. This cannot happen in a non-democratic government. So this is a very special feature, a very important feature of democracy. Let us sum it up. Democracy cannot get us everything and is not the solution to all problems, but it is clearly better than any other alternative that we know. It offers better chances of a good decision. It is likely to respect people's own wishes and allows different kinds of people to live together. Even when it fails to do some of these things, it allows a way of correcting its mistakes and offers more dignity to all citizens. That is why democracy is considered the best form of government. So whatever points we have read till now in favor of democracy, the points have been summed up in the form of this paragraph. Broader meaning of democracy. In this chapter, we have considered the meaning of democracy in a limited and descriptive sense. We have understood democracy as a form of government. This way of defining democracy helps us to identify a clear set of minimal features that a democracy must have. The most common form that democracy takes in our times is that of a representative democracy. You have already read about this in the previous classes. In the countries we call democracy, all the people do not rule. A majority is allowed to take decisions on behalf of all the people. Even the majority does not rule directly. The majority of people rule through their elected representatives. This becomes necessary because modern democracies involve such a large number of people that it is physically impossible for them to sit together and take a collective decision. Even if they could, the citizen does not have the time, the desire, or the skills to take part in all the decisions. This gives us a clear but minimal understanding of democracy. This clarity helps us to distinguish democracies from non-democracies, but it does not allow us to distinguish between a democracy and a good democracy. It does not allow us to see the operation of democracy beyond government. For this, we need to turn to broader meaning of democracy. Sometimes we use democracy for organizations other than the government. Just read these statements. We are a very democratic family. That means the word democracy is not always used only to denote government or to talk about government. We can use the word democracy in different manners also. We are a very democratic family. Whenever a decision has to be taken, we all sit down and arrive at a consensus. Consensus here means a common decision or a common conclusion. My opinion matters as much as my father's. So this is another way to define democracy, because in a democracy people have the right to express themselves, to express their opinion, to say yes or no, to show agreement or disagreement. So similarly, if we find any such family where all people, all family members have the right to express themselves and then come to a common conclusion, then it will be called a democratic family. I don't like teachers who do not allow students to speak and ask questions in the class. I would like to have teachers with democratic temperament. That means teachers who allow all the students to express their feelings, to express their ideas, and then discuss the matter and come to one common conclusion. One leader and his family members decide everything in this party. How can they talk of democracy? These ways of using the word democracy go back to its basic sense of a method of taking decisions. A democratic decision involves consultation with and consent of all those who are affected by that decision. This line is very important. This is a very important feature of democracy, that if we are really talking about true democracy, an actual meaning of democracy, then in that people will be allowed to take part in discussions and debates, and they will be consulted, and their consent will be taken into consideration. Their opinion, their wishes, their desire, their outlook will be taken into consideration. Those who are not powerful have the same say in taking the decision as those who are powerful. This can apply to government or a family or any other organization. That means it is not necessary, if we talk about true democracy, then it is not necessary that people who are in power only will have the right to express themselves. Even if those who are not in power have the same right to express their opinion. This can apply to a government or a family or any other organization. Thus, Democracy is also a principle that can be applied to any sphere of life. It can be family, it can be school, it can be government, anywhere. The word democracy is applicable. Sometimes we use the word democracy not to describe any existing government, but to set up an ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. True democracy will come to this country only when no one goes hungry to bed. These are different ways how democracy can be described. In a democracy, every citizen must be able to play equal role in decision making. For this, you don't need just an equal right to vote. Every citizen needs to have equal information, basic education, equal resources, and a lot of commitment. So, in all these spheres, democracy can be used to describe its true meaning. If we take these ideals seriously, there is no country in the world, then no country in the world is a democracy. Yet, an understanding of democracy as an ideal reminds us of why we value democracy. It enables us to judge an existing democracy and identify its weaknesses. It helps us to distinguish between a minimal democracy and a good democracy. In this book, we do not deal much with this expanded notion of democracy. Our focus here is with some core institutional features of democracy as a form of government. Next year, you will read more about a democratic society and ways of evaluating our democracy. At this stage, we just need to note that democracy can apply to many spheres of life and that democracy can take many forms. There can be various ways of taking decisions in a democratic manner, as long as the basic principle of consultation on an equal basis is accepted. This is a very important feature of democracy, that before any decision is made, before any conclusion is drawn, lots of people are taken into consideration, their opinion is respected, they are given the right to express themselves, to express their opinions, to discuss the matter, to debate upon the matter, and then only a common conclusion is drawn. The most common form of democracy in today's world is rule through people's elected representatives. We shall read more about that in chapter 4. But if the community is small, there can be other ways of taking democratic decisions. All the people can sit together and take decisions directly. This is how Gram Sabha should work in a village. Can you think of some other democratic ways of decision making? This also means that no country is a perfect democracy. The features of democracy that we discussed in this chapter provide only a minimum conditions of a democracy. That does not make it an ideal democracy. Every democracy has to try to realize the ideals of a democratic decision making. This cannot be achieved once and for all. This requires a constant effort to save and strengthen democratic forms of decision making. What we do as citizens can make a difference to making our country more or less democratic. That means the democracy will prove true democracy in its real sense only the way its citizens behave. This is the strength and the weakness of democracy. The fate of the country, the future of the country, the fate of the country depends not just on the rulers, on what the rulers do, but mainly on what we as citizens do. So we the citizens have a very, very important role to play so that democracy can prove itself a true and a real democracy in actual sense. This is what distinguished democracy from other governments. Other forms of government like monarchy, dictatorship, or one-party rule do not require all citizens to take part in politics. In fact, most non-democratic governments would like citizens not to take part in politics. This is the main difference, a very important difference between democratic government and non-democratic government. In democratic government, people have a very important role to play. They are very important people in decision making process. They have to, they take they show their active involvement in politics. They vote and choose their representatives. They take part directly or indirectly in decision making in the country. But this is not the case if the government is non-democratic. But democracy depends on active political participation by all citizens. That is why a study of democracy must focus on democratic politics. So this is how the chapter has come to a conclusion. The chapter has ended with a very important note that if we want to call democracy a real democracy, a true democracy, then the rulers as well as the citizens both have a very important role to play. Then only democracy is going to prove a good democracy, a true democracy, or a real democracy in practical sense, in actual sense. So this is the end of this important chapter. What is democracy? Why democracy? So children, please read the whole chapter once again. You have to pay special attention on arguments against democracy, arguments in favor of democracy, all those things which are written in dark black ink, those points and their explanation are very important. You have to learn them. Then whatever is written in black on page number 28 along with its explanation, then on page number 30, please learn these things, because these can be asked in multiple choice questions also, in short questions also, and in long questions also. Similarly, give a very careful reading to page number 27. The whole page is important. Try to remember as many things as possible. Then from which word the word democracy has been taken, from which language it has been taken. It has come from the word, from a Greek word demokratia. You must know the meaning also. All these things are very important for multiple choice questions. Please read the chapter. Keep reading the chapters which we have done earlier also, because any type of question can be framed from any paragraph. Thank you, children.